Good morning, you guys. I trust that everyone is doing well today and that everyone is blessed. So I am here to share a bit of a revelation that I got from God a couple of days ago. There's something that I had been praying for to God, and He revealed His answer to me through a sermon. So a couple of days ago, I was listening to the tribal worship album, the 2021 album, yeah. And lo and behold, God miraculously answered me through that through that album. And at first I thought, this is just meant for me. I don't need to share it with anyone else. I don't think anyone else needs to hear it. But then after the Spirit nudged me, and after learning from Mbumino Brandon that when you learn, you must teach, and when you get, you must give, I felt really pushed to share this. And so here we are. So I was listening to the tribal album while I was busy cleaning and washing the dishes the other day. And then all of a sudden a sermon comes on. So here am I thinking, okay, maybe the playlist has ended, or maybe it's changed to something different. But then as I go to my phone, I realize, good to know, there's actually a 20-minute or 20-minute odd sermon within the album. So as I start listening, I realized that no, man, this sermon is actually powerful. But then because I wasn't listening attentively, because obviously I was cleaning, I didn't really hear everything that's being said properly. So then what I did was I stopped cleaning, I sat down, I grabbed my notebook, I grabbed my pen, and I started making notes and listened to the album. And as this guy goes on and he preaches, I'm like, no, man, this is God answering the prayer that I actually brought before him. And at first I didn't really realize until I started thinking about my own life. As I hear him speak, I'm like, okay, where does this resonate with my life? I realized now, and then I realized that this is actually an answer from God. So I then thought, okay, I'm not going to share it. It's just for me. But then God is like, you need to share it. So here we are. So guys, basically the sermon was centered around Moses. For those of you who don't know who Moses is, or don't know his full story, in a nutshell, Moses was born during the time that King Pharaoh was ruling a certain nation or something like that. And what happened was Moses was the one who was sent by God to save the Israelites from Pharaoh's captivity. And what happens is King Pharaoh decides that gives an instruction rather that every Hebrew woman who gives birth to a son, that son must be killed like immediately. And here's Moses' mother. She gives birth to Moses and manages to hide him for 3 months, but then realizes that she can't hide him anymore and puts him in a basket and puts him on the river and basically hopes for the best. So I'm going to read from chapter 2, just so you guys can have a bit of insight with regards to whatever I'm going to say after. So we're going to read from the book of Exodus, Exodus chapter 2. It starts by saying the birth of Moses. About this time, a man and woman from the tribe of Levi got married. The woman became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She saw that he was a special baby and kept him hidden for 3 months. But when she could no longer hide him, she got a basket made of papyrus reeds and waterproofed it with tar and pitch. She put the baby in the basket and laid it among the reeds along the bank of the Nile River. The baby's sister then stood at a distance, watching to see what would happen to him. Soon, Pharaoh's daughter came down to bathe in the river, and her attendants walked along the riverbank. When the princess saw the basket among the reeds, she sent her maid to get it for her. When the princess opened it, she saw the baby. The little boy was crying, and she felt sorry for him. This must be one of the Hebrew children, she said. Then the baby's sister approached the princess. Should I go and find one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you? She asked. Yes, do, the princess replied. So the girl went and called the baby's mother. Take this baby and nurse him for me, the princess told the baby's mother. I will pay you for your help. So the woman took her baby home and nursed him. Guys, let me pause for a second. Do you realize the power of God? First of all, this woman has to give up her baby You know, she's probably stressing about the whole thing of she won't be able to nurture her baby, grow her baby. And she's doing all of this, you know, trusting in the Lord. And she gives this baby away, doesn't know what's going to happen with him. And then gets her baby back in a miraculous way, because obviously Pharaoh's daughter doesn't know that this is the original mother of the child. This is the real mother of the child. And so she's just giving the child to a Hebrew woman to nurture him and grow him, but she doesn't know that she's actually returning the child to his mother. Amazing. So then later, when the baby was older, his mother brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter, who adopted him as her own son. The princess named him Moses, for she explained, I lifted him out of the water. Many years later, when Moses had grown up, he went out to visit his own people, the Hebrews, and he saw how hard they were forced to work. During his visit, he saw an Egyptian beating one of his fellow Hebrews. After looking in all directions to make sure no one was watching, Moses killed the Egyptian and hid the body in the sand. The next day, when Moses went out to visit his people again, he saw 2 Hebrew men fighting. Why are you beating up your friend? Moses said to the one who had started the fight. The man replied, who appointed you to be our prince and judge? Are you going to kill me as you killed the Egyptian yesterday? Then Moses was afraid, thinking, everyone knows what I did. And sure enough, Pharaoh heard what had happened, and he tried to kill Moses, but Moses fled from Pharaoh and went to live in the land of Midian, or however you pronounce it. So guys, so Moses has been sent by God to set the Israelites free from King Pharaoh's captivity. And here's Moses trying to save this Hebrew man who's obviously fighting with an Egyptian man, and kills the Egyptian man, and he even buries him after that. And to cut a long story short, the biggest lesson that I learned from the sermon was that the danger to your destiny is your premature arrival. You moving outside the timing of God. You not trusting in the Lord enough to wait on him. You not having faith to trust in his timing. That's the danger to your destiny. It's your premature arrival. Moses knew that he was called to set the people free. He knew he was called to set the people, the Israelites, free, and to set them free from the captivity of King Pharaoh. The problem is that he went outside the timing of God. He went outside the timing of God. He didn't do what he was instructed to do. He wanted to save the Hebrew man, but then he ended up killing an Egyptian. And that's the lesson that I'm here to teach you today, that the danger to your destiny is your premature arrival. You arriving in your destiny not in the time that you're supposed to be there. You arriving in your destiny not in God's time. And it took me back to my own personal life. And I realized, Ukuti, I was in a season where I was praying to God about something. I was praying to God for something. I was so sure that I was ready for it. I was so sure it's what I needed. It's what I wanted. Like, guys, I was at a point where I was like, God, I know I'm ready. I want it. I'm ready for it. It's the season. The season is right. The time is right. And even though I knew deep down my heart that it was not the right time, but somehow, because I thought I knew when was the right time, I believed, Uguti, yes, I'm ready. Even though I also knew I wasn't 100% ready for what I was asking God for. And that's the lesson that I'm here to teach you guys today, that the danger to your destiny is your premature arrival. Because I kept on thinking, what if God blessed me with what I asked for, and then it ended up not being what I needed, and it ended up stressing me, and it ended up bringing more stress and depression in my life than it was supposed to make me happy. And that's the lesson that I'm here to teach you today, that don't do things in your own time. Don't do things and then call them God's blessings. Don't do your own thing in your own time and then call it God's blessings. And more than anything, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he will make your path straight. The lesson for this video is that it's to teach you the importance of waiting on the Lord. It's to teach you the importance of waiting on the Lord, and that if you don't wait on him, the danger to your destiny will be your premature arrival. You will arrive at that place prematurely, and you won't enjoy the blessing. You won't understand why you're there. You're gonna get annoyed, you're gonna get tired, you're gonna get confused more than anything. And the other thing that this lesson taught me was that or rather the sermon taught me was that be okay with God hiding you. Be okay with being hidden. Sometimes God hides us for a purpose. I love how the sermon said, God prevents attack by hiding us. You can always tell if something is going to be fruitful if it's being hidden. Don't despise being hidden. You are being hidden to protect how fruitful you're going to be. And that's another thing that I'm just here to inspire you guys about, that don't be afraid if you are being hidden. Don't be afraid if your business is not booming as you thought it would. Don't be afraid if you are not attracting as many people as you thought you would. If you are not growing in whatever, in your business or your channel or whatever, the way that you think you should. You are being hidden for a purpose. At the right time, the Lord is going to make it happen. You're going to be known. Your business will be known. Your channel will be known. Whatever it is that you're trusting in him for, it's going to come at the right time. Maybe this time is not the right time. It's not happening now, or it hasn't happened because God is protecting you from something. But in the right time, he will make it happen. He says in his word, I, the Lord, will make it happen. In the right time, I, the Lord, will make it happen. And that's just what I wanted to share with you guys. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. And more than anything, wait on the Lord and don't be afraid to be hidden. I really hope this inspires someone out there. And I just want to say you guys should have a beautiful week. And don't forget that if it hasn't arrived or landed in your life, it's because it's not the right time yet. God's timing is perfect. He is not a God of disorder. He's a God of clarity. He's a God of patience. He's a God of peace, peace that surpasses all understanding. So just trust in him.